Well, good day, my railroaders. Now that I'm getting started on the more permanent style layout, now I've got a lot of kits I got to build. So I should be busy for, well, 2017, like I said in the last video. Lots to do. So I'm not going to go through a how-to or let everybody see how I actually build kits, but I am going to go over part by part what I think of the kits as I'm going along. With this rail shop, I need 2 of them stuck together, and that's easy enough to do. You just got to take the base plate and see on this side there's a line on the right, and on the left you have to cut that piece out. Now, keeping that in mind when you do it, I've just marked them all with a square, so when I put them all back together it fits in a square. On the small plate you can see the little lips down here at the bottom, so that's the back of it. So you got to make sure the pieces that you're cutting are all going to match up later on with the left and the right. I'll show you that in a second. One of the other things I got into on this is when you get this kit itself, here's the windows, and you can see all the little lines on these windows. Well, what they tell you to do is take a rubber or an eraser, paint it, and then you get this. I'm going to tell you, this is the biggest pain in the ass I've ever tried to do. They tell you to use a magic marker, or they tell you to use an eraser on it. And I did use an eraser because it was about the easiest way to do it, but very, very time consuming. So the other thing is, like I said, I'm putting 2 of these kits together, and they give you enough parts probably to make 3 of these, because of course you've got a left and a right wall on everything. And then they got like that small section I showed you, that's an add-on. You don't have to put it on, so they give you a back wall and then they give you another back wall. So there's 2 different styles. All in all, for right now, if you want extra parts, this is a great kit to buy. Especially if you want to do 2 of them together. You're going to end up with a lot of extra parts. So far, like I said, hardest thing, or not the hardest thing, but the most tedious thing is these windows and trying to get that little spot painted. Anybody have any better ideas than their painting and eraser trick? Now that I'm almost done them. Alright, until later on when I get farther into this, and I'll let you guys see it then. Okay, so the very first page of this, of course, is all the windows and all the walls of the building. And when you're putting 2 kits together, it's more of a jigsaw puzzle than you think. The part I do like is this front wall right here. In this picture you can see 2 windows and a door, and it's a big door for like a train. But they give you the option of doing whatever you want. You can put all windows in down here, or in my case, the way I did it, window, window, and then I bricked it in, and I used my little Dremel tool, and I cut in a door that I had from another kit. Another window, and then that'll be a locomotive door. The one thing they don't tell you in the instructions, though, the instructions, is remember on these up here, you had to cut the sides off of them. So when I get down to this piece and I put it together, well, just grab the 2 pieces, put them back in there. But you get them all together like that and you get this really big piece in the center. So I get looking at it, and like I said, they don't tell you this in the instructions, so hopefully I didn't screw up this kit. But I cut out that little piece, and now it kind of looks normal. And I'm not sure why that one window is down lower than all the other ones. Yes I am. I put that one in upside down. And it's been sitting here drying for some time. Well, I guess I better try to get that off. Talk to you in a bit. Yeah, that piece is stuck in there pretty good. So, anybody else building this kit, just keep in mind, line up the windows first. And I got all the other pieces done. They're all sitting around drying. And there's a lot of pieces to this. So, on to the next page. And we'll get started at that. And of course what they don't show you in the plans is they give you an extra piece right here in the center, because that's 2 kits to cover up the gap that's there, because that's supposed to be a corner, right? So now you make it flat. So I just got to find the one that goes for the back side, and this is just the final stages of it, getting it glued onto the base and trying to keep it all so it's all getting glued. You lift up certain parts of it, jack up other parts of it, lower other parts of it, but we're getting there. Corners come out really good on this one for some strange reason. Couldn't have been my modeling skills, that's for sure. Okay, when we're almost done, we're done. See how fast I get going on this. We'll be back. So of course the booklet does say read all instructions first. And if I would have actually read the very last paragraph, it tells me what part to put in if I'm doing 2 kits together. So it's part 23. And shake you all over the place. That would be that piece right there. And it just goes on to fill the crack. Now on the other side, give this a little spin around so it's in the light a little bit better. You got to use the same part, but you got to cut it down to fit. So that's all of it put together, except for all the roof details now. And I still got to put the ridge caps on. So that'll be the final video when I get those done and the roof on. I'm not going to put anything inside it as of yet. I'll wait until it's actually on the layout. So we'll see you in a bit. So this is the front corner of the building, or the back corner, depending on which way you're going to put it. Either way, it's where all the windows go across if you put on the addition. Anyway, right here you can see there's a little tab. So when you put in this top window piece, the 3-part window, it comes up and sits on that tab. Now there's no actual way of knowing the height to put this thing until you put that little piece right there on, and then this should have come up about 1/2 centimeter. Now in saying that, we swing over to this side. The other thing I was always wondering about is the roof, because the roof has little lips on it that it sits on. So first thing, this side, you can see a crack down the side. So you got to cut this little corner out here, and that's for that part of the roof. No big deal on that, but the big deal really is on the front you have this lip here that the roof sits on. See the little lip? It's a very small, fine lip. On the back, under these windows, there's nothing. So you put the roof on, and it just falls through. So, because it's got 2 kits, this piece that's on the front, I'm going to put back there, but if I put them on the underside where you're supposed to put them, then my roof slopes backwards, because that is sitting too low. So if anybody's building this kit and putting 2 together, keep in mind that that window goes right up to the top where the other roof line is. Should have known that myself, but I didn't. Which is also going to create a gap in between my roof line and the windows and the wall. So, just something to let you guys know if you're going to build this kit. And you put 2 together, it's a monster of a kit. Okay, one more clip to go, and that'll be the final part of it being built. And this will be the front side of it, towards the transfer table. 6 stalls, locomotives, and they give you 2 different styles of doors. I'm mostly going with the green ones, and the gray ones look a little more modern, I guess I would have to say. Okay, and this will be the back of the locomotive facility when I put it on the layout. And this will be the side that is towards the wall. So, won't get much video time on this end. And this will be the side facing the aisleway, so very close to the side of the layout actually. Like probably within 6 inches. Something really big to reach over, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to glue the roof on for right now, because I do want to put inside details later. The roof is the biggest pain in the arse you're ever going to get. Again, probably because I ended up doing 2 kits side by side, but as you guys can see, they kind of overlap each other. And up here I'm going to have to find a way to, well, once I glue them down I guess they'll stay properly, but that'll be a little while from now. And of course, last but not least, that they give you along with this kit is a bunch of stickers, well, transfers, warning signs, rail shop, bunch of names that I'd never put on it, a few numbers. Good to keep for something, I guess. Walthers Cornerstone Rail Shops. My final thoughts on this one: modeled in 4 colors. I did not paint anything on this one except the top, and that's because I wanted to get the black soot look on some of it and the aluminum look on the top. That's going to be pretty much impossible to do later once it was put together, so you have to paint that stuff first. If you were doing 1 kit, I would have to rate this kit probably an 8. Very easy to put together. Like again, for 1 kit. It's pretty straightforward. All the corners, they lined up perfectly. I was actually quite surprised at that. The little pieces here on the top that go on the roof corners, there was only one that I had to kind of cut down to fit. Putting 2 kits together, well, if you have any questions, ask me before you do it, because it is a bit of a pain in the ass. Read the instructions front to back and every word, probably read it twice. I thought I read all the instructions, and then of course I left out the bottom left hand corner, and that just happened to say that this piece right here, number 23, is the piece that you need to match up. The instructions do not go into any great detail on how to meld 2 kits together, so you kind of have to wing it that way. Basically, the hardest part that I had was that front roof. You do have to put some kind of support in the back, and the front windows, like I said, the front windows right here, they don't actually give you a height, and if you were going by the little notches that are inside, mine are low by about half an inch. So keeping that in mind, if you guys ever do 2 kits and put them together, make sure you move those windows up a little bit. Other than that, even 2 kits, I'd have to give it a 7. To me, it looks really, really good. The back detail over here, all these are individual pieces, so you can make them whatever you wanted. I chose to put a door in this side, because in St. Thomas they had 2 doors actually, but I only went with 1. Big bay windows. This door here I had to cut in myself, and worked out pretty good. And 2 other big windows. So yeah, pretty easy kit to build actually. It took 3 days and a tube and a half of glue, to believe it or not. And I use the everyday, just everyday model glue. For the windows I did go out and get canopy glue, which helps out quite a bit because this stuff leaves a hell of a mess on windows. Total all in all, awesome kit. It's going to look good on anybody's layout. Just take your time when you're building it. Like I said, go through all the parts. I have a box of parts left over that I could probably build a second one of these without a roof. And how hard's a roof to build, right? Okay guys, I'll talk to you later on. Thanks for watching.